The Disney Channel Magical Holiday Express. Christmas in Disney World never fails to disappoint each year. Employees redecorated every single building in the park to put families in the holiday mood. Not to mention the Disney princesses and stars from the films appeal to spread cheer for the holidays, especially from Star Wars and Marvel. However, whenever fans of Disney enjoy the spreading of cheers from Disney, Pixar, Star Wars, and Marvel characters and attractions, they couldn't get over the fact that Disney Channel cartoon stars never get their attractions during the holidays. They may spend time at the parks in Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, Epcot, and Animal Kingdom, but little compared to other famous franchises. They never got their attraction greenlit due to bigger plans from the company making more attractions in 4 parks. But it all changed when right after last year's Christmas, the Disney Channel cartoon stars finally made an agreement to the Walt Disney Company to open their own Christmas attraction, but a mobile one at that. In Jacksonville, at the Amtrak station, people are taking a night trip to Orlando where Disney World is at. But when it comes to the Disney World vacation package, people usually take flights to Florida. If travelers are close to Orlando, they get an exclusive deal to take the train with the attraction they've been hearing about since mid-spring. After the train to Miami left, it was only a matter of time for the train to arrive for Orlando. Friends and families are eager to spend the 3 hours in the mobile attraction that Disney created. "Hey," a young girl pointed, "it's finally coming." Everyone turned their attention to the train that's a quarter of a mile from arriving at the station. But unlike the train people took from time to time, the train is a lot more different. Not because of it being decorated in Christmas lights, it's painted with Disney Channel colors they show on TV during the holiday season. The passenger trains show characters of the cartoons on display with Christmas outfits, but what will entertain people the most is what's taking place from the inside. When the train stopped at the station, the doors opened, revealed Mabel from Gravity Falls with her reindeer antlers on her head, and Molly from the Ghost and Molly McGee wearing a Santa outfit. "Ladies and gentlemen," Mabel cheered after walking out with Molly from behind, "welcome to the Disney Channel Magical Holiday Express." As Molly leaned close to the kids, she presented the Holiday Express itself, the most fa-la-la entertainment express for your trip to Orlando, she squealed. "It'll be the best 3 hours of your holiday experience." Mabel and Molly invited all the passengers inside the train. The kids loved the short but charming introduction from the 2 stars, one of which entered the show almost 8 years ago along with another who's 2 years old. There were 3 classes for passengers to sit for the trip to Orlando, with each class decorated with tons of Christmas decorations. But the separate classes behind the engine car is where the stars are relaxing and preparing for the performances. In the first class of the Express, Christine from Harley's On It is in a fancy Mrs. Claus outfit. Is making her railway announcement with all the passengers putting their luggage away. K-Squad, this is Christine, the Mrs. Claus Queen, telling you that we're starting the train to Orlando, where Disney World is at. She smiled with her voice being heard from the speakers. The Holiday Express would be more than the Polar Express, except for the train going on thin ice, that is. The passengers laughed from the compliment. "Anyway, enjoy our railway trip." She put her microphone away as she headed back to the classes from the front. In no time at all, the smoke from the engine came out as the train moved on the railway from the station. The kids and teens couldn't believe they met 3 stars they barely see at attractions, aside from conventions. It was almost like what they read wasn't a lie or changed at the last minute. All things are getting better from here on out. Cricket and Tilly from Big City Greens came out with Cricket holding mugs filled with coffee, while Tilly is holding a tray of butter biscuits. "Anybody in the mood for a warming Christmas beverage?" Cricket smiled. "Along with special Christmas biscuits made by Grandma," Tilly added as the passengers paid and received the mugs and biscuits. The kids were thrilled to see the current Disney Channel cartoon stars appeal from their very eyes. When Tilly handed a biscuit to a girl in a purple jacket, she gave her a hug without hesitation. Oh, such a sweet gesture. Knew this is what we wanted, Cricket commented after getting a fist bump from a team. While they headed to the second class of the Express, kids and teens get a chance to watch episodes from their favorite Disney Channel cartoons, old and present, from the installed TVs hanging from above. For the next 20 minutes, they can use the TVs to watch 22-minute or 2 11-minute episodes until Holiday Express continues its brand new gig. After Cricket and Tilly finished up with the third class, they head back to the separate classes. They took a break after doing their job, and for 20 minutes, it's time to spice things up. Okay, it's your turn now, Tilly whispered. Go out there and hit a home run, Christmas style, Cricket added. While fans were enjoying watching their favorite episodes, the screen changed into the high-quality cam from the first class. It catch them off guard, but not too long. The main star from Harley's on it and Marcy from Amphibia appeared from the door, with headset microphones for the classes from the back to heel. Marcy, Harley called, straightening her Santa hat. Where are your other friends? You said they would come along on this express. I did, but they got sidetracked from the holiday shopping rush this afternoon, so that's why they missed the train. Marcy showed Haley her phone. But we're supposed to make these passengers occupied. What about Luce? Then Amity appeared from the door in her Mrs. Claus outfit. Sorry, she missed the train because she forgot to bring her gift. She stepped in. Seriously? These passengers need to arrive at Disney World, but without our friends, what can we do? Marcy asked, to which Dipper from Gravity Falls came out in the conductor outfit. Everyone calm down, he called to the three's attention. I'm fully aware that we don't have our biggest Disney Channel stars, but we can still occupy the passengers. We have enough time in the front for entertainment. But Dippo, giving entertainment from our biggest stars is what people wanted. I'm not enough without my best friends. Yeah, and Luce always lightens up the mood, especially during Christmas, Amity added. Hey, that doesn't mean we have newer stars who became fan favorites this year, including you, Haley. While Haley blushed, Dippo turned his attention to the passengers. Everyone, please welcome Casey. As he headed back to the front, Casey from Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur appeared in her stylized Leto Santa outfit. Hey everybody, she cheered while taking a selfie with the passengers. Usually our conductor makes the instructions, but he gave me the liberty for that along with an exciting entrance. We don't have a grand stage to fit in the Holiday Express, but we can still add excitement, right? The kids in our classes cheers yes, much to Cassie's surprise. Well, I'm thankful that my headset didn't explode. My ears still hurt though, Haley retorted while taking off her headset. You get used to it after a while, Marcy added. Anyway, I want you all to welcome Moon Girl. After giving the introduction, the door from the third class that shows the rail track opened, taking the passengers off guard. Moon Girl was skating on the rails of the track with only one boot from her superhero outfit. She jumped through the back while shutting the door with her leg. The passengers make an applause from the out-of-nowhere entrance from Moon Girl, as if they expected it to happen in the first class. Merry Christmas, everyone, she cheered. Here's my favorite superhero, Cassie appeared in the third class. Well, I made it before the holiday rush. Trust me, Christmas isn't always about happiness when it comes to last-minute shopping, Moon Girl greeted her best friend. We've all been there. The passengers laughed while the two continued the show. So, since we have She looked through her goggles. More than 2.5 hours until we arrive at Disney World. The only thing we need to keep an eye on is upcoming Christmas crashers. Christmas crashers, a black boy responded, to which Moon Girl turned to. Yes, like birthday crashers, but for Christmas instead. While I've taken care of my enemies, but when it comes to other shows, they find out we've been working on this Holiday Express just before we started building it. You mean these? Kelsey showed Moon Girl her phone. Yes, Chip Whistler hijacked this whole express to turn it into their own wholesome foods express. With kids gasping from the news itself, Moon Girl looked through the windows from both sides. The good news is, however, they're nowhere in sight, but they told the Green family they're on their way when they informed us yesterday. Plus, I'm in charge of being the lookout outside of the train. She headed back to the door as she came in. Sorry for not entertaining you all, but this is a serious mission to save your Christmas vacation at Disney World. The moment she prepared to open the door, the kids cheered Moon Girl from all classes in the Holiday Express, to which she smiled as she headed out. She went on top of the train to look out for Chip Whistler. On the TVs, it shows Moon Girl sitting down while giving them the thumbs up. Soon the TV screens turned back to where the passengers left off. As the Holiday Express was just 45 miles from its destination, the passengers, mainly the kids, were calm after what Moon Girl told them earlier while still enjoying the Holiday Express. Soon enough, four stars appeared in the first class from Amphibia. Sprig, his sister Polly, and Anne's parents, Mrs. and Mr. Boonchoy in their Christmas outfits. But they only head their way to the second class to give it some more attention. Upon entering the second class, they only have one microphone in Sprig's possession, but they're gonna turn this Holiday Express into something more. Hey everybody, Sprig, Polly, and Anne's parents are here to keep you occupied, Sprig replied. Now I know what you're thinking. Sorry, but I didn't get awards from Anne yet. He showed everyone his phone. Polly grabbed the microphone from her brother to fill in. The holiday shopping rush really got her and Sasha in the way, she added. There's more reasons why we planters don't celebrate Christmas in our world, but let's just say we're anything but Christmas crashers. Polly gave the microphone to Mrs. Boonchoy while looking at the passengers. I've gone through so many holiday shopping rushes when Anne was little, but the day at the Christmas Palooza parade, she and her friends built the Thai Gold float, which is... She stopped herself with a tear coming down from her eye. My dream is to go out at the parade with a float. Everyone was touched by Mrs. Boonchoy's words to even imagine the dedication Anne did for her own mother. But the less said about what happened at the parade, the better. Mrs. Boonchoy leaned towards the microphone, and on Christmas morning, she gave me this. Mrs. Boonchoy showed everyone the blue butterfly. It's been decades since I've enjoyed Christmas before Anne was born. This Christmas is what really takes me back from that Christmas. With the passengers clapping for Mrs. Boonchoy's speech, she gave the microphone back to Sprig. When it comes to me, Polly, and Hop Pop's first Christmas, we had to learn the chaos way of being one of the most stressful holidays, but was still anything but Christmas crashers. He walked up towards the people from the back of the cabin while showing people a picture from his phone. This is me and Anne with her holding my gift to her. It wasn't the best gift in the world, but she accepted it. Which is what I've learned, Polly walked up to Sprig, that being with people close enough can still show appreciation. Speaking of appreciation, Sprig pointed at Mr. Boonchoy, who was holding a gift box. Here was our token of appreciation. While Mr. Boonchoy takes out the gift to the passengers, it was the same gift Anne gave to her mother, but slightly smaller with the same value. We made many blue butterflies for you all to remember this experience, but even if some of you would take the train to Disney World again, these are not available in stores, only on the Holiday Express. As Mr. Boonchoi gave the passengers blue butterflies one by one, she gave some to Sprig, Polly, and Mrs. Boonchoi to hand them out in the first class. With everyone appreciating the gesture, they were amazed that the model is just the same as Mrs. Boonchoi. When Mr. Boonchoi entered through the third class, Marco from Star vs. the Forces of Evil came in the first class and stopped Sprig, Polly, Mrs. Boonchoi from exiting the first class. Guys, Moongor texted me that Chip Whistler is close to the express along with Wholesome Squad. He called. What? Polly reacted. Moongor better be prepared because Sprig gets cut off when a bump is heard from the top of the train. With the TV screens turning to the point of view of Moongor's phone, Chip Whistler's bodyguards were gaining up on Moongor, but luckily she transformed her hand into a boxing glove to punch one of them. But just when she reaches the third class cabin to enter, more bodyguards appeared from the sky while landing right in front of her. Ah! Mr. Boonchoi reacted after hearing the bumps from above. The kids reacted while the door from the back kicked wide open, revealing Chip Whistler. Here's a Merry Christmas to you all, you filthy animals. He grinned while Mr. Boonchoi backed away from him. I eventually knew when and where this kitty ride was heading, but even without the information, I would be one of the only people in this world to find this train. When Mrs. Boonchoi and the others headed inside the third class, they saw Chip taking one blue butterfly from a little girl while looking at it closely. Give that butterfly back to her, Mrs. Boonchoi called out. Why? People will prefer wholesome foods Christmas specialty rather than tourist attractions like you. He then breaks the blue butterfly, causing the girl to cry. Oh, you better not ruin our Holiday Express, Polly reacted. Even if it's by stopping this train, I would still turn you out. Sprig unleashed his tongue, but Chip dodged it while grabbing it while wearing rubber gloves. He pulled Sprig off the ground while grabbing him by the clothes. He then snapped his fingers as bodyguards appeared from the back as he handed Sprig to the bodyguards. Take out another disgusting tongue and you're being thrown out, Chip said currently, making a thinly veiled threat. Not much later, Cricket and Tilly made their way to the third-class cabin to aid the planters and Boonchois. Chip, if you ruin our Holiday Express, you're gonna get a coal-shaped tooth for Christmas. Yeah, like that's ever gonna stop me from taking over this express. He walked up to Cricket, with the Wholesome Squad still holding on to Sprig, who was resisting. You may make a fool out of me from time to time, but you're nothing like a hero. I have full power on this express and no one's gonna stop me. Just when Chip and the Wholesome Squad headed to the first class to take over the train taking the passengers, the TV screens showed the light lasers of light blue and dark pink from the distance. But it wasn't enough. From the left, a portal opened up from the outside of the express door, which Dippo immediately opened. Then from above the express, while Moongor was on the verge of defeat, she and the Wholesome Squad saw something above in the sky. Even during the night, it became visible in a matter of seconds, with the dark magic appearing. Merry Christmas, suckers! Loose in a Titan Witch form landed next to Moongor, taking the Wholesome Squad by surprise. Loose! A long girl cheered from the second class. Luce used her Titan powers thanks to Steam Beam to push the squad off of the express. No! Chip, looking at his bodyguards falling from the express out the window. Then Star Butterfly jumped out of the portal thanks to the dimension scissors. As if it wasn't enough, the light lasers came in from the second class, revealing Anne and Sasha with their calamity powers. Everyone cheered to see one of the best Disney Channel stars as they surrounded Chip and his goons. You may have power, but you don't know what power is from destined heroes from Euphemia. Anne walked up to Chip. You may have failed to win against your enemies, but you don't stand a chance against us, Sasha added. Don't push it, I know who you are, Chip retorted, and I know where all this is going, Cricket smirked. As Anne and Sasha pushed pushed Chip and the squad. Star and Marco showed them the dimension portal. For the record, fights on the express will kick you out to the dimension. Star crossed her arms, especially hijacking trains, Marco added. Thanks for the tip, Chip showed wackos. Chip rolled his eyes as he and his goons jumped through the portal. Dipper closed the door with the portal disappearing into nothingness, while he and Maple turned their attention to the passengers. I give you, Dipper presented the heroes of the Express. The Christmas saviors of Holiday Express, Maple shouted in excitement. Anne and Sasha turned back into their normal selves, whilst in Santa outfits as well. Moongirl and Luz, who also turned back into their normal self, entered inside the third-class cabin. Everyone cheered for saving the Holiday Express and the entrance they made. We're back from our holiday shopping rush, Sasha replied. When we heard that Chip Whistler was taking over this express, we had to rush by, well, you know, Anne giggled as so did the passengers. They caught us and we need to send our most twisted villains away with these. Star showing off her dimensional scissors. If only we had those in our show, Tilly said, being mesmerized. Luz and Moongirl made their way to the first class as Luz witnessed Amity. I have my gift, she smiled. I don't need to guess who is it for, Amity giggled. As Luz made her way to her girlfriend, Anne's mother and others also appeared in the first class cabin. Sprig stuck his tongue up in the ceiling, launching himself from the ground, landing in front of Anne. Merry Christmas, Boonchoy Claus, he grinned. And who are you, the first ever frog elf? Anne smiled. I beg a differ, Polly retorted. Anne, tell everyone what you and the others are gonna do since you arrived, Mr. Boonchoy replied. Yeah, since we are here, I was thinking that we should sit next to the passengers and watch our favorite Christmas episodes, Anne suggested as the passengers cheered. I think we'll take that as a yes, Marco putting his finger in his earplug. Big time, Cricket added. Well, you heard her. Let the real Holiday Express begin, Molly cheered from the front. For the rest of the trip, stars of Disney Channel watched the Christmas episodes with the passengers they're sitting next to. The passengers didn't think it could get any better, but the Express itself outdid it again. They wanted this to happen for such a long time, and it's only a matter of time to make updates when it comes to feedback. The Holiday Express arrived at Disney World. The train stopped at the Orlando Amtrak station where Dipper appeared in the first class, making one last announcement. Passengers, we have arrived at our destination, he responded. Thanks for taking the Disney Channel Magical Holiday Express. The door opened as everyone got out. On their way out, the Disney Channel stars gave them high fives and hugs. With the three classes empty, the Express left the train station. The Disney Channel stars go to their exclusive classes to take the break after the performances. That was something else, Harley commented. You know how you felt after watching your Christmas episode, Sasha replied. I'm surprised that we were allowed to do the hijacking, Marco added. I thought it was out of the question. Maybe some of the people at the company felt bad for us, Casey added. That's mostly putting it lightly, judging from what we've been through, Luz taking a drink from her hot cocoa. We're not even allowed to kiss in the Express, Amity added. I wouldn't blame it on the company, but I wouldn't take the risks of cancellation, Star added. Okay, as much as we went through a lot, this is our first time doing such an attraction, Dipper replied. I wasn't nervous, Cricket buying a biscuit. Neither was I, Tilly added. Yeah, I wanted to do more, especially when we had 3 hours, Maple smiled. Well, the thing is, Disney wants the passengers to relax on their way to Disney World, Mrs. Boonchoy replied. We can only perform for a small amount of time. You're right. But still, it was fun for social interaction, Christine said. Everyone in the class agrees with each other from Christine's compliment, but Anne has a confession of what she felt about the whole thing. Even if I spent less time on this express, it still feels special. You can never deny that, Polly commented. And for what I've learned by going to Disney World before Euphemia came out, each attraction takes years to put together and is more expensive than any kinds of attractions. And we're paid just enough, but not on the same levels of animated movies, Marcy commented. My point is, if we're gonna make this work, we should change it from time to time. Like me being the conductor, Maple wondered. Yes, and we can get more of our friends from our shows to show everyone we're capable of our Holiday Express, including villains, Moongirl guessing while smiling. If they can allow more powerful villains than Chip Whistler, Cricket replied. I couldn't agree more, Molly McGee stood up. When we get back to Jacksonville tomorrow, I should do a speech similar to your mother's as long as, yes, you can have Oliver, but we're still unsure with the whole kissing thing, Anne replied. I was actually talking about my family while having Scratch saving the Express. That also works. Anyway, we should relax while watching a Christmas movie, Amity said. We'll do the plans in the morning. Be thankful the company allowed us to do more impromptu actor changes, Star commented. Disney World doesn't allow that, especially at Disneyland, Haley added. As they turned on their TVs in their class cabins, they watched a Christmas film while the train took them back to their apartments. It was a crazy night, but a successful night to make their goal come true. They await for what the feedback is, but they're aware they didn't make a mistake. It may be the beginning of the attraction, but it will grow to the point they might run the Express outside of Christmas. The Disney Channel stars achieved their goal, and now they're doing whatever it takes to give new passengers magical Holiday Express in the future.